Right, so I'm back, guys, again with this Honda engine I got pretty much for free. I don't know any history about it, and I just want to take it apart, as much for my interest as well as if any of you are interested, then have a watch along. So I'm just going to strip this all the way back and see what's inside. An interesting thing here is this brake. Now this is a pad that is braking the actual flywheel that spins around. As this spins around, it has magnets, and you can see this coil, which has coils of wire in it. It has a electrical current induced in it, and it's going to run down your spark boot into your spark plug and ignite the fuel. That's the basic premise. But this brake here, you can see, has an arm here, which can be pressed, and you can see that it stops braking. You can see that gap there; it stops braking. But also, it has this little tab here that breaks this switch. So if I press it again, you can see it pushes in that switch, and that switch, if you follow the wire, comes down here, round here, is this wire here, and connects onto there, onto the ignition coil. So interesting, this is a safety feature that this spring, if this brake isn't pulled off, if this brake isn't off, then no spark can happen. So that's interesting. I'm going to take this brake off using a pair of pliers. So if you get that spring off, you know how I absolutely hate springs, but anyway. Right, so I'm going to take that brake off. To release that brake, I'm going to take this spring off there. So, pair of pliers, got on the end, stretch it out, and loop it off of that bit. Alright, so you can see that spring's under tension now, so our brake is free. So if I leave it in that position, then the flywheel is free to move. And I don't know if you can hear that, but you can feel, well, I can feel and hear the engine turning over, so that's a good sign. Okay, so next thing, we'll take this muffler off. This is where the exhaust goes. So that's the muffler housing off. Keep taking bolts off. So the point of this is to arrest any sparks, and also to quieten down the engine. You always normally see some corrosion over on this side, and you can feel it in these bolts, and that's because these hot exhaust gases make this muffler just crazy hot, and that obviously accelerates the amount of corrosion and rusting that happens. That's why sometimes these bolts are hard to get off, and they're also very long. So there you go, there's those two rusty bolts, and there's your muffler. See, it's got some oil in it, for sure. I wonder whether it's because this mower's been tipped upside down for a fair while. So there's your muffler. Put that in our parts pile, and the bolts to go with it. Right, and here's our oil dips. Oh yeah. oil dipstick. I can see there still oil in there, so I'm going to have to drain that at some point, possibly. Chuck that back on. I don't know if you're going to be able to see anything in here, but you should. I don't. You can't see a lot in there.
I really appreciate anyone who got to the end of that video. Not much really went on, but in the next couple of parts we'll be getting down into the guts of it. We'll be doing the valves, we'll be doing the piston, draining the oil, getting to the crankshaft. So watch along for the next parts and I hope you enjoy.